All right, welcome back. And we are going to be starting week 13. For this week, it's going to be pretty simple. There's not even any reading for you all to do this week. What you are going to be doing is your MyMap project, and that's basically the degree sheet that you got in week 1 where you uploaded your blank degree sheet. You're actually going to be filling it out and completing it for your project, and that's basically what you're going to be doing this week. It's pretty simple, but you do have to kind of try to plan it out and you have to be pretty thorough with it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the activity here so that way you guys can kind of see what we're dealing with. As you can see here, I reposted all of the directions, which you were able to see in week 1, but at that time I was just asking you to upload your blank degree sheet. But this time you need to get that degree sheet out, and then you are going to basically be filling it out. Now, if you've already taken a certain number of classes, that's good. You'll still want to basically indicate and list out any classes that you've already taken, but then you're also going to be mapping out what your future semesters are going to be looking like. And obviously, it doesn't have to be perfect. Things can change, classes can fill up. It's not necessarily something that you have to stick by, but it's a good way for you to kind of map out the rest of your degree until you're going to reach graduation. And that gives you a good idea too in a bigger picture sense, because you're going to be able to see what it looks like up to what semester you potentially might be able to finish your degree. And the best advice I can give is, in general, you all probably mostly know how many classes per semester you generally can take. If you technically take a full-time load and usually take maybe 3 classes per semester, then you can go ahead and plan it out that way where you're mapping out your following semesters, doing 3 classes at a time. Or if you work a full-time job and maybe you only take a couple classes at a time, you can do it that way as well. But the point is for you to be able to kind of map out everything that you have left so you can kind of see what your future is going to look like up to the point of graduation. Even if you plan to transfer to a different school, you're still going to complete this project like you were going to finish at Rose, mainly because you never know. Things can change. Maybe something comes up and you aren't able to transfer to the school of your choice, or something happens and it's more financially, I guess, better for you to be able to stay at Rose for a little bit longer. So you're still going to map it out all the way until technically you would graduate with your associate's degree, or whichever degree it is that you are going for. You're going to go ahead and map it all the way out, even if you do plan to transfer to a different school, because it would still be good to be able to see the bigger picture, because like I said, things could happen. You might have to stay at Rose a little bit longer than you planned. So just go ahead and map it out like you were going to finish all of the credits that you need to finish the degree program that you're currently in. If you're in basically an undecided major and you're just doing all of your undergraduate credits that aren't necessarily geared towards a specific major, that's okay, because there is an actual degree sheet for that, which I think a couple of you actually had. So you're still going to map out all the classes that you would take up to a certain point off of that degree sheet. So all of the directions are here. What you will also see is that I'm basically asking you to map everything out. I do want to also see all of the classes that you already have taken, if you have taken a lot of classes, and you can just basically list them by semester, what classes you took each semester, so I can see what you've already taken. But then you're mapping out your future classes potentially for semesters going out. And I also included, because I had a couple of students last semester that did a pretty good job with it, and I just put examples on here so you could kind of see what the MyMap project looks like when they mapped it out, where they showed me the classes that they've already taken, and then they showed me what they planned out for the future. So you'll see those here. I have 2 different examples. One student put everything as a text entry box and just typed it all into the text entry box, which is the first example. And then the second student used Microsoft Word, and they basically typed everything out and did it in a Microsoft Word document and then uploaded that as an attachment. So you can do either way, because it's open to you both ways. And you can basically design it the way that you want, but I need to see the information as far as what classes you're required to take. What are all the classes that you're required to take for your major? and then also what classes you've taken. And then I need to be able to clearly see, mapping out into the future semesters going forward, what classes you could potentially plan to take. And you do need to think about it in the sense that some of those classes have prerequisites. So you have to kind of take into account, as you're mapping out the future semesters, what classes you would have to take first, and then what classes you'd be able to follow up with, and so forth. So put some thought into it, because it's a really good roadmap, and it's a really good way for you to be able to see that bigger picture of, this is graduation, and I can actually see it mapped out. And yes, we have advisors that help you all with that, but it's really good for you all to kind of be able to make a plan for yourself. And it's something that you can kind of go off of, because it's giving you a really good idea of what you need to do, what you need to accomplish, what classes you need to take, so you can get, and you can actually see that end goal of your graduation. And if any of you are doing a prospective major because you haven't chosen a major yet, but there's something that you chose in your degree sheet that's perspective that you think is potential that you might choose that, it's okay if you're not 100% sure. Just go ahead and go with that major, and just look at the classes that are required and go ahead and plan it out, so that way you can finish it. Because if you do decide to go with that major, you kind of already made a good map for yourself of what you would need to take to get to that graduation point. So that's basically some examples there. You can click on the link there if you want to see them, so you can kind of see what it looks like when somebody had completed the My Map project. Just make sure that you're doing your own information. Go off of your degree sheet, because I can still see your degree sheet. So I want to see those actual classes that are showing on your degree sheet, and you planning out how to take those classes and kind of in what order. And then basically you'll just upload it. You'll either put it in the text entry box and type it in, or you'll upload your Microsoft Word document. And that is it. It's pretty simple. It just takes a little bit of you kind of planning things out and looking at that degree sheet and kind of figuring out what you want to do. But like I said, just please make sure that I can see clearly what classes you need to take that's on your degree sheet. I need to be able to see what you've already taken, so that way I can very clearly tell the difference between classes you've already taken and then which classes you're going to be mapping out for future classes, and split them up by semester. So for next semester, spring 2021, you could go ahead and start with that. What classes do you think you would plan to take for that? And then if you're going to take summer classes 2021, fall 2021, and so forth, and just kind of map it out until you get to that point that you've taken all of the credits that you would need for graduation, and you pretty much have the whole entire thing mapped out. So that is it for this week. You'll go ahead and submit that. Pretty easy. If you have any questions, just go ahead and email me and we can talk about it. But hopefully putting these examples here will give you kind of a good idea of what it is I'm looking for and how you'd be able to earn the full credit for that. All right. Well, that's it for week 13. I will see you all next week for week 14, and I hope everyone is doing well.